Getting a remote job changed my life, and in this video, I'm gonna share with you exactly how I landed my first remote job. I'll also be sharing with you the application process, everything that I did prior to getting the remote job, where I got the remote job from, and how you can also get your first remote job. I'll share a couple of tips and tricks that you can use, and yeah, I'll also tell you what I'm currently doing at the moment. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about graduation. I graduated campus 2019, I think 26th October, 25th October. I graduate campus. I'm very excited. A degree in mass communication. I'm going to be working in PR, I'm very excited. I'm like, you know what? The world is my, what do they say? Oyster? Whatever that word is. By November, I had already gotten a job at a tech company. The company was in the innovation village. I'm very excited about it. I start working there, but with time, I realized I'm not growing in the role. Like I keep doing the same tasks, and I'm not gonna grow. If you know anything about like comms, you need to have like samples of your work. But I keep doing the same things, and I'm thinking if I leave this job and I want to get another job, what am I going to show for it? So, like, I wasn't growing, like, literally. And I'm like, I'm going to get stuck in this position. So, I start looking for new job opportunities. I am hungry, and I turn on my Facebook job notifications. And by that time, Facebook jobs was a thing, like a very, very, very big thing. I turn it on. I keep getting all these jobs that keep coming. And then this particular day, the notification for the role of content manager pops up. And I look at it. I'm like, wow, I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. Joe, you can do this. I decide to apply for the job. I keep messaging the person who's managing the page, like, hey, I sent my application. I'm excited for the interview and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, we'll let you know. We'll email you. By that time, I don't know that I'm talking to the CEO of the agency. I'm very excited, and boom. I go on with my day, still applying for other opportunities because remember, you just don't shoot only one shot when you're looking for job opportunities. I continue doing what I'm doing. And then I decide to check my spam like after a week, and guess what? The email is in the spam. The email inviting me for the interview. I'm very excited. I'm like, you know what? Let me go and go for this interview. I let my family know, like, hey, the interview is going to happen on this particular day. They're like, which day? Sunday? They're like, yes, Sunday at 6 p.m. And my mom is like, Joy, what job is that? My sister. By that time, I'm staying with my sister. She's like, okay, you go. But remember, you guys, me, I'm desperate. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for this job interview, and I have to get this job one way or another. So I go for it, go for the interview. I go to my former workplace by that time. And then I go, have the interview there, use their internet, use those good people's Wi-Fi, sit in their room. There was one particular room like in the corner where people would take meetings and stuff like that. Anybody who knows if my workmates are former workmates are watching, I think they're like, Joy. Yes, I went into that room, had the interview there, and yeah. So I'm like, it's 6 p.m. I'm ready. And then this woman pops up on the screen. I'm like, hi, my name is Joy. We get through everything. She's like, I love the samples that you shared with me. She asked me where I'm located. I say I'm in Uganda. She's like, Joy, do you know that the company is located in Wisconsin in the US? Are you able to work EST time? I'm like, yes, ma'am. I'm ready. I'm hungry to win. Even if you ask me to work whatever time zone, I don't know. I'm gonna be there. So I'm like, yes, I'm ready, and I will support you in whatever you want me to do as it relates to this particular role. She's like, okay, are you willing to learn these tools and systems? Something that I noticed, like our tools and systems that we use for work here for our 9 to 5s are very, very different from like remote companies abroad or international companies. So I'm like, yes, I'm willing to learn. And she's like, okay, I'll get back to you. I have to interview other people. It didn't even take more than 30 minutes. She just wanted, I think, to see my face and know if I had a willingness. That's what I believe. And I was so excited about that. So by like 6:30, I'm done and I go back home. I get back home, everyone is like, "Oh, you're done with your interview?" And I'm like, "Yes." I don't think my family took me seriously. No, they didn't. I wake up Monday morning and I have an email saying, "Hey, welcome to the team. They are welcoming me. You've gotten the job." I'm like, wow, this confirmation email is so amazing. They're sharing with me what I'm going to be getting. We had already spoken about like the pay, the salary, and everything. She had told me that this is like an employee role. You're not going to be working with other people. I'm like, okay, this is okay for me. But I did not tell her that I had my traditional job at that time. Remember, I even didn't tell these people who are employing me at my 9 to 5. If my former employers are watching, I don't know what they're thinking, but just forgive me. I was hungry to win. So I didn't tell anybody that I had like another job, but I didn't even think that Jocelyn cared if I had like another job. She was like very, very open minded, but she just didn't want me to work with like another company that was doing what we're doing, like another agency. So I don't care what you do during your day, but during this particular hours, you are working for this particular agency, the digital market, right? I'm like, yes. So I go, I'm very excited. I go to my former workplace on Monday. I'm like, okay, I've gotten this opportunity. And then in the evening, I have to run back home and do my remote job, like work for my remote job. And it was very tiring in the beginning. And with time, I decided to drop my traditional 9 to 5 role and focus on remote work. I worked with the digital market for close to 2 years, I think 1 year and 9 months. And then Jocelyn closed the digital market. When she closed the digital market, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was very, very devastated. That is the only thing I knew. It had become like, oh my God, my whole life. That was my first ever remote job. The pay was just amazing. I was getting on like some months, if we had like a workload at the agency, I was getting 3 times what I was getting paid at my traditional job. Yeah. To think about it, I'm just like, wow, those were good times. And she would pay us every Saturday. I would wake up and I've already received like my salary. They would pay weekly. Man, it was so amazing. And so when she says, "Hey guys, I'm closing the agency," and they let go of me and my friends, I'd met so many friends. I'd met Liza, my friend in Kenya, we're still friends up to today. I'd met friends, people from India. Like, guys, it was so amazing. And she says, "I'm going to close the agency." She was going through personal issues. And one's mental health comes first. So, yeah, she decided to do that. And then I started applying for like pro bono opportunities. I'm like, you know what? I've learned so much. She's like one of the best employers I've ever worked with. During that process of working at the digital market, I learned so much. She would train us, pay us at the same time. And yeah, you can imagine you're getting skilled, you're getting paid. Like, come on now. That's the icing on the cake. I was so excited about every task that she would give. And so when it's like time to say bye, I'm very sad. But then I think to myself, I have all these skills. I should start figuring out my next move. And because we would do a couple of tasks that will have us going to like the Facebook groups and pitching to clients and stuff like that, even in the content manager role, there's a bit of sales that I would do. I realized that there was something called being a virtual assistant. And I'm like, okay. So I go through like what being a VA is and I look at the job description and I'm like, wait, I can do this. Remember, I've worked at an agency. So they're now looking for just one particular person to do all these things. I can do this, all this content creation. I've been doing this at the agency I've been working for. And so I decide to start pitching myself in this particular Facebook groups. And I'm like, hi, my name is Joy, and this is what I do, blah, blah, blah. Here are samples of my work. I would like to support you pro bono, not paid, remember? And I'm looking for in exchange, I'm looking for a testimonial. Like, okay, no problem. So a couple of people would reach out, but one particular person reached out and she was in the UK, Lorena, and I got to work with her company like after 1 month. And she was like, wow, I love what you do. I would like to pay you. After 1 month, guys. I was like, what? Okay, this is exciting. And I worked as an intern for Civitas Post like for a year. I'm very excited. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And then I started seeing like other VAs. They didn't have only one particular client. I went and started researching about what a virtual assistant is. And I realized, wait, I can work with them with multiple clients as long as I'm able to serve them, just manage my time very well. So I went through that and I established myself as Virtual Joy and I started doing all this networking. I started becoming I became a virtual assistant, not even started, but I was heavily looking for clients. And boom, got this course by Esther Iman, went through it and became a VA, got certified and everything. That like added like, on my credibility. Because when people would ask me, do you have any qualifications? I'm like, yes, I have this Esther Iman certificate that I would share, that I would put like in my resume and everything. I applied for so many jobs after like working for the digital market. It was very, very interesting to see like how the roles were very different from what I had originally known, like in the digital marketing space here in Uganda. So yeah, I shoot my shot for a couple, I get them. And then by that time, Clubhouse is a thing like during the lockdown. Clubhouse is such a thing that during that period, I get so many opportunities for work because I'm networking. And with time, I'm like, well, I'm really a virtual assistant. I became a virtual assistant and I became a podcast manager because the course that I took by Esther Iman, the 90-day VA course, it had like a whole part where they would teach you like how to become like a podcast manager, and I really really loved that. I love podcasts. I love listening to people's stories, and so I'm just like, you know what, this is a good thing. So I established myself as a virtual assistant and a podcast manager. And that's what I currently do for work. That's it. That's how I got my first remote job. That's what I currently do. And it's been amazing. So maybe you're watching and you're like, Joy, that's a very good story. Congratulations to you. But how do I also get my first remote job? So here are a couple of things that I wish I knew beforehand. And here are a couple of things I would advise you to do if you're looking for a remote job. First things first, I would really advise you to like get specific about what field you want to work in. So I want to work remotely, but in what field? When people email me, they're always like, I want a remote job. And I'm like, what job do you want? It's very important for you to get specific about what field you want to work in. Because when you're specific, you're able to do like a skill gap analysis and be like, okay, these are the skills I have from maybe my current job or from uni, and this is how I can apply them to get this job. Remember, you can decide to work in that particular field that you went to study in, or you can decide to learn new skills. And that's how the skill gap analysis will help you. And that's how being very clear about what field you want to work in will help you. So you need to get very clear. Then secondly, you need to do like a skill gap analysis. When you figure out what you want to do, the third thing is like, okay, look for opportunities for work or skill up. You get to do one of those two. But majority of us who are Africans looking for remote jobs, we will have to skill up. So third, you'll definitely skill up and then start looking for opportunities in that field. As you look for opportunities in that field, this is something that I strongly, strongly advise. As you look for opportunities in that field, be open minded to look for volunteer roles, pro bono roles. I did that twice. Like I just shared with you the story of how I got my role at Civitas Post. I did it twice, looking for pro bono work, and I got permanent employment for a specific period of time. So you should be very open minded. Don't just shoot your shot and be like, okay, I'm not going to volunteer. You don't know. There's this law in physics, like, is it bodies in motion stay in motion, something like that? I posted about it on my TikTok. Like, Sir Isaac Newton was right. When you stay in motion, opportunities will find you. But if you stay in this spot of like, I'm going to just be looking for these roles, I'm just going to be applying, just sending out all these resumes and cover letters for these opportunities, but you're not actually practicing everything that you've learned. Like, it's almost very hard. For me, that's what I stand on because it has worked for me. You may be listening to this, rolling your eyes. That's up to you. But for me, it has really worked for me whenever I'm like, okay, I've been applying. Let me take a step back and look for like a volunteer role, a pro bono role. And yeah, we'll see. Gain that experience. Hello. Gain that experience and then put it on like my resume and say, hey, I have experience in this and this, and I'm looking to work with you. So when someone looks at me, they're like, wow, she has remote work experience, and boom, this is why I want to employ her. So I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying. But I hope this helps you so much. So figure out what field you want to work in, do a skill gap analysis, do the skill that you need to do, apply for opportunities, but also be very open to volunteer opportunities or pro bono opportunities to build your experience, to get all this experience that you need so that you can land a job that you're like, wow, this is amazing. So yeah, that's how I got my first remote job. If you have any questions about remote work, if you're an African who's looking to work remotely, feel free to comment below, or you can email me at joy@theremotechick.com. I will be dropping another video soon in regards to remote work, so be on the lookout. Subscribe, turn on those notifications so you don't miss out. But I'm very excited to read your emails, to read your comments, and yeah, I'll see you guys on TikTok, or if we meet in person, just say hi. All right, bye. Okay, 1, 2, 3, we go. Let's go. So getting no, I don't want to say so. So why do you always have to start the video with so, Joy? Okay, let's do this again. In this video, I'll be my God. Maybe I should. I don't know. I can't tell if the drumming is coming from the school or these guys, but I'm gonna say that they're gonna record it regardless. So, of all the days that I decide to record, today is when the neighbors remember to start drumming. Ay, my lord. Literally, like, I don't know, like, who has a drum in their house? Anyway, that's just me blabbering. The drumming is killing me. Oh, oh God. Jesus.